Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia Jackson, and welcome to our Lunch Talk series. This is a series that was created by Converge Online, our Facebook group, where we hope to gather people together and grow in faith, community, and service. And we are super excited today to have the Gwinnett Chapter President, Brian Buckwalter, here from Sleep in Heavenly Peace with us to talk with us today. But first, we got to get you a little shot of lunch today, brought to you by Blue Rooster. So check this out. I have my chicken salad croissants. Of course, these chips, Miss Vicky's chips, are delicious. And the macadamia nut cookie. Delicious. So please go out and support your local businesses. These are super delicious. Support your local business in your community. So again, Brian, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we are super excited. I was looking at your bio, and it says that in your free time, you like to be in front of a smoker. And I'm like, okay, what do you like to cook? What? Tell
Oh,
me.
well, I would say my specialty is probably chicken thighs, but I'm working on the brisket. I've got to
Mm.
perfect. I've been, every once in a while, Costco will have one of those brisket specials, and I'm really into that. So,
Ooh.
just basically anything that's low and slow. I love throwing it on the smoker and just feeding a large group.
So are you out there like all day, the whole time? I don't see, I'm impatient. I don't think I could do that. You're just like just watching the meat cook. Like, how does that work?
Well, it's all in the prep. I let the smoker do the job, so I don't babysit it too much, but it's all in the prep. And yeah, you do have to wake up kind of early, sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning, and then
Hmm.
you just kind of let it go all day and monitor it. So it's fun. It's something if you're hanging around the house, I can do some yard work or whatever and
Hmm.
check on it every once in a while. But good things come with time. So
Nice.
I don't mind waiting.
It's nice. And you are also a father of three, and we're about to move into Father's Day. So happy early Father's Day.
Well,
So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
got a couple of questions about Father's Day.
Sure.
What has been your best Father's Day gift? Or do
Well, it
dads
was
still
this.
get gifts? Is that a
They
thing now?
do. I think I get more permission to buy something. So I would say the smoker that I have was the best Father's Day gift. I was
Nice.
allowed. I had been talking about it for years, and they were, my wife was like, finally, you know what? Happy Father's Day. Go buy it. So
I love it. Well, again, thank you for joining us. Again, you have been serving as the Gwinnett Chapter President for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And I just want you to explain what this organization does and the inspiration and the story of Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
sure. Well, the mission and what we do is simple. It's no kid sleeps on the floor in our town.
Mhm.
And basically, what we're doing is we are approaching the problem of child bedlessness by rallying the community to come together to build beds, to deliver those beds and get them into homes in our local area. So that's what we're doing. And we're focused in the Gwinnett County area, which extends a little bit down to Norcross and all the way up to Gainesville and out. But what we're really trying to do is just make sure that every kid has a safe, comfortable place to sleep at night.
Nice. And so let's talk
Yeah,
more about just your journey with this organization. How long have you
sure.
been volunteering? What attracted you to this organization? When did that start?
Sure. So the organization itself started back in 2012 out in Twin Falls, Idaho, by Luke Mickelson. It was just something that he had started as a project out in his garage. And it was supposed to be like a one-time thing. And then once he built this bed, gave it away. People started jumping in and trying to help him out, and it kind of grew from there. And it was
Wow.
really kind of a regional thing in that area. There's maybe a few chapters here and there, like 9 chapters in total,
Mhm.
from about 2012 until 2018. And that's when Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs fame and the Discovery Channel, I think you might have heard him on Deadliest Catch and all of those, he was doing a Facebook show called Returning the Favor. And this was in, I think, November of 2018. He featured this, Luke Mickelson, and what he was doing. And overnight, the organization just blew up. Like they were getting requests from all over the country. I never saw the show until probably the following year or later on. And that's how I saw and learned about it. I was scrolling through Facebook, sitting on the couch, and I came across this episode, and it just hit something with me. I mean, it was something that was like, well, I mean, I do like woodworking and I like working with my hands. And I'll be honest, I was never really much of a volunteer before that. But something hit me. I was like, I have to get involved with this. So that was like late 2018. And I immediately reached out to the organization and said, what can I do to get involved? And basically they said, well, you could start a chapter. So I did.
That is what we need, a chapter.
Yeah, we need a chapter. There wasn't one around our area at the time. And so I went out to Twin Falls and did the training and everything. And we did our first build in June of 2019. So I'd done the training and kind of the vetting process. And June 2019 is when my core team of volunteers and we all gathered together and we built some beds. And it wasn't many, but that's really what started it. And we've been going strong ever since.
I love it. And so I have to tell you, I attended the last bed build that we had here at the church. And when I heard about it, I was like, a hammer and all these other things. Like, I don't know how to build a bed. I can barely fix like something that has broken at the house. And so it just sounded like a very intimidating process to me. But when I came, it was just so much fun and people were working together. Everything was split up into teams. And so is that how it was meant to be designed, as a fun activity that is more about doing something as a team? Or is that just focused specifically for Gwinnett County?
No, I think that's kind of, you're speaking right to the core of what SHP is all about. It's about community involvement. You know, you can build a bed in your garage and you can give it away. It's honestly, I mean, if you have like a woodworker like myself, like I could say, okay, I'll take some wood and I can make a bed and give it away. And that's great. But that doesn't address a bigger thing. And that is letting people know that there is a problem, that it's bigger than we realize. And, oh, by the way, you can do something about it.
Yes.
Like I don't care if you don't have, experience, you've never picked up a drill before. There's something there for everybody that comes out to one of these bed builds. And like you said, it's by design. I want to get as many hands touching that bed and taking that raw lumber and turning it into a bed as possible. That really speaks to the core of what SHP is all about. And we do follow a process. We follow that build train that you experienced and taking the raw lumber, sanding it, drilling it, and dipping it into, and then branding it at the end. It's all a part of something that they want us to do. And I think that the more people that get involved, the more we're able to spread that awareness out. Luke has always said that there's always a more efficient way to build these beds, but efficiency isn't the point. It's getting as many people as we can involved, experience or not.
I love it. I love it. And so is Sleep in Heavenly Peace also involved in the delivery process? Like, how do you determine which families get the beds? Tell me about that process.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we always like to say we're not in the bed storage business. We're in the bed delivery business. So once they're built, like you said, we've got to get them out to the community. So the way we do that is we do get requests through our website. So shpbeds.org is the website. And there's a big button right when you go to the front page. It says request a bed. And based off of zip codes and all of that, we can that request will get matched with the chapter that's closest to you. So we receive our request through that. We also have a partnership with Promise 686, which is it's a local. Well, actually, I think it's local to us. We are involved with their thing called Care Portal.
Mm-hmm.
Care Portal is a way to connect churches with the government, with the Department of Family and Child Services, and there's needs that are being met through that. So if if a family needs a bed in the area and a social worker is working that case, they can submit a request through Care Portal. And I'm on that list, and I'll see that, and I can help respond. So,
Wow.
and so we can prevent kids from getting into foster care. We can help reunite families that are, separated because of these beds. So it's neat how the community is now rallying around it too. It's not just through that website,
Mm-hmm.
but we can also get other community members and volunteers involved in that process.
Wow. And so you have been one of the individuals that who goes out and delivers the beds. And so um, out of all of the families and the children that you've met, what have been some of the most transformational moments that have happened when delivering those beds?
Um, they're all touching in a way. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
our chapters delivered more than 200 beds, and I think one of the ones that really sticks out to me, I mean, is the first one. I did that in Twin Falls. That was part of the onboarding process. Is like look at what you're doing. You walk into a home, and the particular home we walked into was not much bigger than a couple rooms of my house.
Mm-hmm.
It had a small little kitchen and just like a living area that had a bed there that the parents were sleeping on that also was their couch, and then like a cardboard box with a TV on top, and then nothing in this bedroom. Nothing.
Wow.
I mean, there wasn't any furniture. And to see the kids, just their reactions to these strangers walking into their home and building this bed and then getting to try it out, I mean, that hit home, and I was able to experience what I saw on the screen. I was able to experience it in person, and that's transformational. I mean, you realize that, yeah, there's people out there that don't have anything, and to be able to give them something like a safe place to sleep at night,
Mm-hmm.
that's comfortable and warm and cozy, like you're changing their life.
Wow.
There's opportunity for them to now get a good night's sleep, so they can go to school, so they can learn, they can have the energy they need. We've walked into homes where, I mean, they're literally sleeping on a pile of clothes
Wow.
or nothing, and it's not necessarily at any fault of the parent. There's circumstances, and this can happen to anybody.
Anybody,
This
yeah.
can happen to, it could happen to your neighbor, and you won't know because it's not something they talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But, we walked into, we've helped out with families recovering from fires on more than one occasion.
Wow.
We've helped out with, dad got injured at work and has been out of work for a year, and then their trailer was destroyed by fire, and they were doing everything they could just to rebuild that and have a safe place to sleep. But the kids were still, sharing a couch or sharing, an air mattress or something like that. And we were able to go in and just provide that one little thing. And it's emotional, and but at the same time, you realize, like, you're hopefully providing, hope to that child and to that family that, look, everything's going to be okay. There's a community here that loves you, and there's a community here that wants to surround you and see you get back on your feet.
Yeah, and it sounds like that transformation is mutual. It's going both ways. The volunteers as well as the families in that moment are both experiencing hope and transformation, and they're just both seeing community being done in a different type of way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's relational. It's, and like you said, you are getting something out of it because I think you're just, I don't know. It's allowing me, it's teaching me compassion. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's teaching me to put my own, my own, I don't know, assumptions aside. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, this can happen to anybody. This isn't, bedlessness isn't, I don't know, a problem that goes after one socioeconomic
Mm-hmm.
background or, position.
It
It's
throws out all
everywhere.
the stereotypes.
it throws them all away. And then, that forces me to grow as a person. I think and then other people, they get to experience that. But then you realize, like, you get to see joy, you get to bring joy to somebody, and then make a connection to a family. And just, I don't know, just in that moment, as much as all that's going on around them and maybe in your own personal life, there's a little bit of joy that you can share together. And that's really, it's a special thing. It really is.
Wow. So since your work with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, how has your idea or definition of community changed, if at all?
Well, I think it's shown me that community can solve a problem. I think it's allowed me to see the importance of community. I've been traveling all over the country and all over the world for 20 years now because of my job, and I've been pretty transient. So I don't feel like I've really had a chance to develop roots since I was a teenager, to really develop roots and plant in the community. And I think when we knew that, this part of Georgia was going to be where we were going to settle down for a while, it gave me that freedom to say, okay, let's figure this out. Like, I wanted to be involved. And then I think it's shown me that people are, one, resilient, two, that they want to help. And you just sometimes need to provide that little resource to. And they want to help more than money, and they want to help more than just, they want to invest in other people. And I think that it's just shown me that, a small group of people can make a big difference. And I think I'm more encouraged than I think I was. I'm less cynical about people and things like that. I think that there's a lot of good, in our community. And I think there's a lot of good in the world, and we just have to go seek it out sometimes.
I love this because it's doing community. It's living out our connection to each other, just in such a creative and unique way. And also something that's not individual, but that brings together people to show that we are in this together. We are all doing this together to help, not only help a cause, but also to be transformed in the process. And so I just love the message and the inspiration behind Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's such a wonderful organization. And so if anyone wants to volunteer, or like, what are the initial steps in starting a chapter, or just even to volunteer? Like, talk me through those steps.
Well, yeah. So talking about just volunteering, I think that's the best first place to really figure it out, is to come to a build. We do builds every once in a while. They're not on any regular schedule. And they're either, sometimes private companies will sponsor a build, or we'll try to have a public one, like the one on June 12th, which is going to be at Lawrenceville, there at the First United Church Methodist Church there. And we're doing Bunks Across America. So that's a great opportunity to come out and spend a couple hours, helping build a bed. That's a public event. We want people to come and take some time. No experience, like you said, no experience necessary. Just come, and
Believe
even if you just come to watch,
no experience necessary. It was just very eye-opening for me, and I don't know how to use anything.
And we're there to help you. We want it to be successful, and it will be. And so that's a great just way to just test the waters and see what it's all about. And then from there, it's just getting on our email list. And when you sign up, providing your email and saying, please let me know about other opportunities. And that way, what we can do is let you know when there's deliveries coming up. And we want people who build to also come out on deliveries. It's not like, hey, thanks for your help here building. We'll take it from here. No, we want people that want to go and help deliver beds. Please come on out and share that with us. We get requests in, and we typically like to do teams of 3 or 4 people, and sometimes more, depending on how many beds we'll be delivering to a family. So there's always going to be opportunities to help and see that impact and see that full circle of what you were doing before. then to start a chapter, I mean, you can reach out to me. You can feel free to share my email address, which is brian.buckwalter@shpbeds.org. Happy to start that process, answer any initial questions, and then go through and vet, because go through that application process, because the need's greater than I can handle. It's greater than any one person can handle. We need more chapters. There's 8 chapters in Georgia now, and we're just scratching the surface. We need people. And like, for example, I got a request just the other day from the Macon area, and that's over 3 hours away. We can't deliver, and there's no chapter in Macon. So that's a family that knows about us, but we're having a hard time reaching them. So what can we do? We need chapters.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining with us and just talking to us about all of the many things, wonderful things that Sleep in Heavenly Peace is doing. And our prayer is that you all continue to do awesome work and get more volunteers and chapters established to help out with the cause and to go out and really just live into the idea of connection and community. And so give us the website one more time.
Sure. It's shpbeds.org.
Awesome. Well, again, Brian, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining with us on this episode of Lunch Talk. We appreciate it, and we will see you next week on this same day at the same time. Thank you so much.